And welcome back, everybody, to Mystical TV, brought to you by Scarefest Television and Radio. Now, we've been talking to Rose Campbell, and she's talked about her book that she wrote, The Princess and The Peon, based on her contact with the Princess Diana immediately after she passed away. Now, this one might even just be a theory, because now you brought it up about why would she be contacting me 3-4 hours after she passed away. Do you think, did she actually bring that part up, or is that a reflection of a old spirit, perhaps?
Wait a minute, I'm not following you.
Well, we've talked about the maturity of the soul. Now,
Okay.
presumably, though, some souls are more enlightened, more developed than others. I know, because now, if my understanding of the entire reincarnation process is the perfect the perfect scenario is for us to improve ourselves throughout time, so that eventually we will evolve, come to enlightenment, however you want to explain it.
Right.
Now, as you pointed out, normally when someone passes away, they've got to go ahead and get through the process a little bit before they're ready to come back and tell their story. In this case, I mean, well, to be very, very blunt, as I'm known to be, she wasn't even cold yet. So for her to come forward with a book worth, I realize she didn't give it to you all the first night, but for her to go ahead and come forward with a book worth of information, to me says that this was all predestined for her. In other words, she went into death prepared, soul-wise, if not
Right. Well,
personally.
yes, you're extremely right. Because Diana herself said, now some of it was, Diana said she would never be queen. Now, people took that, the people in the know who knew Charles was messing with Camilla kind of knew that she meant, they might get a divorce. But divorce was really, at that point, when she said that, not even an option on the table for those two.
Mm-hmm.
She always knew that she would never be queen. She had been told by her own voice that you will not be queen, but you will have an important journey. Now, and as the guides said in this book, like when they started telling me about the reasons for her dying, Diana herself may not have known she was going to die that night, but Diana did know that she was going to die on some level, because she had even written a letter to, I don't remember, but it was given to an esquire, where she talked about dying in a car accident with the brakes fixed. And this was a year or more before she died in a car accident. So I do believe Diana was getting bleed through from her soul, but like most of us, she didn't know exactly what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're correct. And it was predestined. One thing I remember saying to her, and this was not really in the transcripts, because sometimes we would just, kind of do girl talk. Let's just say that. And I had said to her, I said, in looking at pictures of you as a kid and when you were 12 and this and that, you definitely weren't nearly as pretty as you were by the time Charles met you. And she said, in this real interesting, real spooky kind of way, and why do you think that is? And she said, I was not a pretty child. She said, but in order to serve my purpose, I had to bloom and draw the attention of the one who was to serve it with me. So I took that to mean that she was way prettier at 19 and 20 than you'd ever thought she was going to be when you looked at her at 12. So I think she almost talked about it almost as like spirit kind of morphed her, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I know sounds a little far-fetched, but that's what I got from her words. And the purpose of it, well, and she often said that she always knew she had to keep herself tidy for something big was coming. Tidy is the way she uses it, means she had to stay virginal.
Okay.
She just knew that, like, at 17, 18, 19, she wasn't out partying and having boyfriends and doing all that. Most of her girlfriends and the girls that she, I believe, lived with in the flat, they did, but she didn't. And she said, I always knew that for some reason I had to keep myself tidy.